Hi everybody, I'm Jill and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I hope that you will consider subscribing. If you aren't new, I hope that you will like this video. It's just a free way to help my channel out, help grow it, and expand my platform. Today we're going to be discussing the case of the missing California teen, Kiely Rodni. And this case is baffling. I'm getting all kind of vibes from this case. It is strange. There's holes everywhere. I'm not sure what's going on, but I wanted to discuss it with you guys. Okay, so let's just get started with Kiely Rodni. So Kiely Rodni is 5'7". She's 118 pounds. She has blonde hair, hazel eyes, several piercings. She has a tattoo of the number 7, I believe, on her rib cage. She drove a silver Honda CRV to the party. Okay, so what happened, it was August 5th, and that was the day that they were going to have a graduation type send-off party for seniors, because the seniors were going to be going to college. They had already graduated, but this was kind of like a send-off. And Sammy is one of Kiely's very good friends, and she helped organize this big party. So they're organizing the party. The party's going to be at Prosser Family Campground in National Forest in the Lake Tahoe area. So they organized this party for everybody, and the friend Sammy Smith has spoke out about everything that's happened at this party. So we're going on mainly her accounts of the party. So let me tell you what she says happened that day. August 5th was to be the day of this big party. However, Kiely was set to go to Reno with her parents for hot August nights. I believe it's kind of like a car show. And at the last minute, Kiely decided she wasn't going to go meet her parents in Reno. She was going to go to this party out in the campgrounds. So she called or texted her mom that she was going to go ahead and go to the party instead of meeting up with them. So I don't know what changed her mind. It's kind of weird. You know, she was set to meet up. She had decided she wasn't going to attend this party. Then all of a sudden, the last minute, she decides to attend. I'm not sure if someone talked her into attending for a reason, what changed her mind, but something did, and I would really be curious to know why she changed her mind. I wanted to talk about a little bit about the people, the friends of Kiely that were kind of key in piecing together the events of that day. Kiely apparently hung out with a friend named Kate the day of the party. Kate says that they made this dessert, creme brulee, and that nothing seemed off with Kiely. Kiely also had a boyfriend, and it's been said boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, but his name was Jagger. And they texted the day of the party. He says he told her not to do anything stupid at the party. He says he was 4 hours away that night, didn't attend the party, and he was with his father. Another person is Mags. Mags is said to be Kiely's very best friend. Mags rode with Kiely to the party that evening. Another friend named Sammy. Sammy Smith was also a friend of Kiely's. She was at the party, and she said she was with Kiely most of the night. So we're going to go ahead and get into their stories now. So we're dealing with Kiely was 16. She graduated early. However, Kiely went to a charter school. Now, whether Kiely moved to this charter school because she was having problems at the regular high school there, or Kiely moved to this charter school so she could graduate early at 16. I'm not really sure of the reason. No one has said anything as of yet about that. So Sammy helped organize this huge party that they were all going to attend. Sammy says that the party got way bigger than they had expected. She said there was about 200 to 300 people at this party. She said there were older people at this party. She did say all grades were invited to this party. All high schools were invited. She did say, you know, there was people there that she didn't really recognize. Now, one person, Mags, rode with Kiely to the party. Mags says as soon as they got out of the car, a big guys approached Mags and tried to get her to do some bong rips. She said she was kind of overwhelmed. She met up with her boyfriend at the party, and they left within 10 minutes, leaving her friend Kiely there. Kiely and Sammy met up at the party. According to Sammy, she was with Kiely throughout the whole party all night. She said they would break up a little bit and then come back. They shared drinks. They were together the whole time. She was able to tell police that Kiely was wearing a black bodysuit, some green Dickies. She was able to say, you know, we left the party frequently, went to Kiely's car, charged our phones. She did say that there were other friends going to the car with them to charge their phones. She doesn't say who, but she does say we a lot whenever she's retelling what happened that night. So Sammy was on, she was on a YouTube channel, and I don't remember the exact name of it, unfortunately, but she was being interviewed from her car, from the site by the YouTube channel. And I kind of listened to it last night, and I made some notes. So I wanted to kind of fill you in on what she said. She said they were seen together through the party all night. She said they were drinking and sharing drinks and taking shots. She said around 10 or 10:30, the party blew up. It became very loud. She said that friends and Kiely went to Kiely's car to charge their phones. I'm not sure if that's true. Maybe they were going to the car to drink. Anyway, that's what she says. So let's just go with her story. She said while they were at the car, she asked Kiely for a ride home because the ride she came with was about to leave and she wasn't ready to leave the party yet. Kiely said, you know, okay. Then she said they went back to the party, they split up, and she went to go look for a ride home. So she does say that Kiely seemed very inebriated. So maybe at the car, when she asked for the ride home, she thought, oh, this girl's not going to be able to drive me home. I better go find another ride. So maybe that's what she's talking about. So she said at the party, they would have a lot of friendly fighting for entertainment. There was boxing gloves. She said people would just play fight for entertainment. Kind of like a fight club, I guess. I'm not really sure. She said she thinks that this is what happened. She thinks that someone offered to give Kiely a ride home and didn't take her home. That's her theory. Jagger has come forward, Kiely's boyfriend, and said that he believes Kiely is just fine, that she's a very smart girl and she's alive and well and she's going to return. I think that a lot of people in this town have an unrealistic view of what's going on. I mean, they held a concert where people were getting up and singing, and they were saying, you know, the sounds are going to bring Kiely back, and when she gets here, we're going to hug her, and it's going to be great. But I don't think that they understand, like, this is not something to celebrate. This is very serious, very disturbing, and something awful has happened to this girl. So now we're trying to figure out the latest digital footprint that Kiely left. Police have obtained video of Kiely at a trucky like little stop for gas or whatever you need, and that was at 6:08, and it shows her wearing the black bodysuit, that spaghetti strap, the Dickies, and this belt that she was wearing, a grommet belt. After that, we know that Mags has said that she rode with Kiely to the party. So I'm assuming she made it to the party that night. Now, I'm not really sure what happens from 6 until the time that they get to the party, and I believe they get to the party around 9:30 or 10. So after she arrives at the party, she's, hanging out with her friend Sammy. They're, taking drinks. They're going to pee in the forest. That's how she said she remembers the black bodysuit, because she had to, I guess, maneuver this to go to the bathroom. And they're sharing drinks. They're taking shots. I'm not sure what all that was happening. She did say that there was a lot of drugs there at the party. I don't know what kind there were, but let's just say probably things got a little hazy for her, and I know she's probably trying her best to remember all the details. However, I have a problem with what her timeline is, and I know that probably it's off. The timeline is off, but she's kind of thrown herself front and center in this investigation. She's, at all the press conferences, she's speaking out, she's trying to get people to come to her, tell her what happened. So she's thrown herself in the front of this investigation, and it may be that, she's just a strong individual and she's good under pressure, and this is something she's good at. And maybe that's why she's out there, really in the middle of everything. But let me tell you, on the last few minutes, what was left of, Kiely's digital footprint. At 11:30 that night, Kiely texted her mother, and she said she planned to leave there in 45 minutes, and she was going to go straight home. Kiely lived about 12 miles from this party. So the mom said, wake me up when you get home. I want to make sure that you've made it home. Now, meanwhile, Sammy is, she has found another ride home. So she says she met up with Kiely before she left. She gave her a hug. She said she loved her and left. Now, Sammy also said that Kiely then called her at 12:36 to ask her if she still needed a ride home. Sammy said she was sitting in the passenger seat of the ride she had gotten. She said I was in the front, and we were being driven home. We were being driven home. So that leads me to believe that there was maybe a passenger in the back seat as well. I don't know who it was. She hasn't said. I don't know who drove her home. But this is her alibi that she left the party. I'm assuming cops have verified. I don't know. Nothing's been said. Anyway, but the strange thing is that Kiely's phone pinged at 12:33 a.m. And it pinged as close to the water than it was as close to the land, which sounds strange, but it was in the area of the party. So she could not have talked to her friend at 12:36 because her phone went dead at 12:33. So maybe this is just bad signal or something. Maybe she's gotten the time wrong, but I assume there's timestamps on things, and those don't add up. It's off. It's a red flag, meaning that it's something to come back to. I'm not saying that it's suspicious, but it's off and it doesn't line up correctly. And that needs to be looked into, right? Wouldn't you agree? Another thing to note is that Sammy did say that Kiely seemed very drunk. However, she left her friend there alone without her best friend to be at this party. And I just want to say, I always tell my granddaughters or young people or adults that are going out, don't split up and don't leave your friends. Stay with them because there's powers in numbers, right? Don't split up. Look at Natalie Holloway. Reminds me of that, where, it was a crazy drinking fest and they split up and she was left alone. And to me, that's setting someone up for a target, especially if there's 200 to 300 people there. However, around 12:30, it seems like a lot of people were leaving. And I'm wondering if there was another party that they were going to attend that night as well. No one has said anything, but it's just, I'm really curious. Did they all go home at 12:30? Did they just abruptly, stop the party? did they get like a noise complaint at that campground? Because I saw a sign that said, you know, quiet hours or like from 6 p.m. to 10 a.m., something of that fact. So maybe somebody complained and they had to take the party somewhere else. Either way, I'm speculating because no one has come forward to say anything. So recently they've had another person come forward saying that this girl had loaned a black hoodie to Kiely at the party, and it was a Lana Del Rey hoodie, and it said a song lyric or the name of a CD, something. It says, "You don't want to be forgotten, you just want to disappear." Well, yesterday, I believe it was, someone else came forward with footage of Kiely not wearing this hoodie. She was wearing a white and pink hoodie. This was early in the party, so possibly maybe she put it up in her car. Maybe she spilt something on it, put it away, borrowed another hoodie. I don't know, but it is strange that Sammy and her best friend Mags didn't say anything about these hoodies. They only just, you know, she only described the bodysuit. So if she did see her throughout the whole party, certainly she would have run into her maybe wearing this hoodie, having this hoodie wrapped around her waist like teens like to do, any of that thing. So it's just a detail that was left out, and I feel like details are so important in this case. You shouldn't even leave out that. So why did no one mention it? I don't know. It's very confusing to me. Sammy says she is the last person that had contact with Kiely at 12:36. I think she's off on her time. If Kylie's phone was turned off or thrown in the water, whatever happened to it, at 12:33. So Sammy has been at every press conference out speaking, telling people to contact her, telling people to call, you know, the tip line, to report tips, to send in pictures of the party, video of the party. But there hasn't been a lot of that uploaded or sent in. It's very strange that 200 to 300 people attend a party, teenagers most likely, and there's no videos uploaded. There's no pictures really at all. Also, Sammy is holding what she says teen to teen talks. She basically is front and center. She speaks at press conferences. She's getting up there, kind of taking a lead on this. And the cops kind of just sit back and let her talk and let her go on. She says she holds teen to teen meetings where teens can talk to teens, and there are no parents and no police involved. Now, what are these teens going to do with this information? If someone does come forward and give information, if she says she's not telling anybody and she's not telling the cops and the parents, what is she going to do with this information? It's kind of strange to me. Like, you want all the information, but, you know, you can't get a search warrant. You don't have a dive team. You don't have helicopters, you know, and that's how they've been searching for this girl. And yet she wants all the information. I find that disturbing. I hope the police and detectives are really in these meetings, are really getting recordings of these meetings or something to that effect, because, you know, it just can't be a free-for-all. Everybody come in and tell this girl what they saw, because she's not a police officer or detective. What is she going to do with this information? Sammy has also said that she thought Kiely would camp that night instead of driving home, which kind of contradicts everything that has been said. She asked her for a ride home. She was going to give her a ride home. She left her there. She then called to make sure she had a ride home. Why would she be calling and asking Sammy this if she was going to spend the night at the campground? Or what if she told her that? Wouldn't she have said, she told me she was going to spend the night? Or I have a text from her. She wouldn't have called her mom saying she was going to be home in 45 minutes. So I think this is Sammy not trying to feel like a crappy friend for leaving her friend drunk and alone at a party. That's how I feel about it. Sammy, you know, I was telling you she did this interview, you know, and on the interview she said, when I see Kiely, I'm going to give her the biggest hug and make her feel the most love she's ever felt. Also, people have been on social media, and they got on Jagger's social media and found out that Jagger followed Sammy. And they also found out that Kiely did not follow Sammy on social media, which in the teenage world, you know, that's kind of a big deal. Also, they found that Jagger was liking some of Sammy's pictures on social media. Maybe that's not a big deal, but in my eyes, I think that if that was my boyfriend, I might have an issue with it. Being young, you know, being a teenager, you know, you don't follow your really good friend Sammy, but your boyfriend does, and he's liking her pictures. I'm not trying to make anything out of it, but rumors are that Jagger dated Sammy at one point. If that's true, everything has a different outlook for me in this case, just because of past cases that similar circumstances have arisen, and it turned out to be kind of a love triangle situation. I'm not trying to say it is in this case, but it would be interesting to see from a point of view, hey, you know, would that bother you if your boyfriend is following your friend, liking her pictures, liking very sexy pictures, let me add that in there, and you yourself didn't even follow Sammy? Kind of strange. Now, let me tell you what's happened in the search so far. They have had dive crews at the bodies of water that were near and surrounding the party area. They haven't found anything. However, Adventures with a Purpose is going to be coming out today, Friday, and they're going to be diving, and they're really awesome. They go and they solve cold cases. They go and they dive in the water. They found cars. They found people, unfortunately, but they're going to be coming out and assisting in this dive search. They have done aerial searches. They have led foot searches. Everybody has been searching, and they haven't found anything. I feel like if she would have driven off and gotten into an accident, something would have come out by now. They would have located the wreckage by now, I'm pretty sure. From all the trees I've looked, there's just trees. It's very wooded around this campground, and it would really be hard for a car to go into the water without at least, you know, messing up some trees and some limbs, and the car just having pieces everywhere. You know, there's no oil spills, there's no skid marks. I feel like if that was the case, they would have found something by now. So I really don't think that she drove off, got in an accident. That theory, I really don't think that that's the case. What I find really strange about this case is that not only is she missing, her car is also missing. So there's a lot of scenarios in my mind of what could possibly have happened to her. Her friend said that possibly someone was going to drive her home because she couldn't drive and didn't drive her there. If we go with that theory, that would mean probably the person that was going to drive her home didn't have their own vehicle. So someone at the party who maybe rode with somebody else, didn't have a car there, were to drive her home. Or somebody that was camping nearby joined in the party and offered to drive her home but didn't drive her home. So where would her car be at this point? They would have to get it pretty far away because this search is really expanding, and people know about this missing girl and about her car. So is it in a garage somewhere? Did someone put her car in their garage? That is very possible. Somebody said a storage unit. You could totally park a car in a storage unit. And also it's been mentioned that maybe she was trafficked. It's possible. I don't know. It's so confusing. What do you guys think happened to this girl? She just vanished, just disappeared. And with so many people around, no one saw a thing. That's what's really interesting. No one saw anything. So that kind of gives me the vibe that they're lying, basically. I mean, I think that you would see something and that they're covering up for someone that they know. They're covering up for friends that they know. It's got to be, because otherwise, people come forward with all kinds of videos and photographs and sightings, and no one saw her. It doesn't seem like anyone really saw her except for that one video that someone had of her in the hoodie, the white and pink hoodie, and her friend, Sammy. And it doesn't seem like anybody else at the party noticed her, which is strange because she's a very pretty girl. And I'm sure she was noticed, but where did she go? Someone knows something and they're not saying. And I think by the silence, it's speaking volumes to me. Silence, because no one wants to say. It's kind of like snitching, right? Nobody wants to tell on their friends. Nobody wants to say. And I think that hopefully they're going to start doing this investigating that the police have said they've looked, they haven't located her. They're going to start doing investigations. Hopefully they start getting some search warrants and getting into people's homes, searching their devices, searching phones. Maybe they can pull a geofence, see all the active phones that, were active in that area, because we do know a crime has been committed. We can all agree on that. So they should be able to get the geofence for the phones. Thinking about this case, in a lot of cases, 9 times out of 10, I always say it's the last person that saw that person. In this case, it's Sammy. Do I think Sammy did something to Kiely? I want to believe no. I want to say no. She's just coming forward, inserting herself into the front of this case because she can, because she cares, because she's a strong girl. That's what I want to believe, but I don't really know, because in a lot of cases, it is the last person to see that person or speak to that person. But that's not 100%, obviously. I think that Kiely, if she is still alive, is in serious trouble, and I really hope that they're able to find her and locate her. If she has been taken for, to be put into human trafficking, why did they just take her? Why didn't they take all the girls that were going to the car? They were isolated from the party. Why didn't they take all of them? They're all young and pretty. Why did they only take one girl? Anyway, I have a lot of questions. Let me know if you guys have a theory on this. I'm going to keep updating you on this case. And let's see if the Adventures Diving, I forgot the name of them. Let's see if they find anything in the water. At least I would hope they could recover her cell phone. I feel like it might be in the water. But let's see what happens with them. So I'm going to keep you updated. If you have any theories, let me know. And I hope you all have a great day and get out and do something. Do something nice for yourself. You always got to take care of yourself, because you're important and you are needed by family. You're needed by loved ones. You're needed to make a difference in this world. You are here for a reason. See you next time. Bye.